We are going to talk about rolling over and doing some basic floats. So when we talk about water safety, we really want to start with floating on your back. This is what floating on your back is going to look like. So when you're floating on your back, you always want to have that chin up nice and high, belly up, and everybody swims a little bit different and floats a little bit different. So sometimes they do that big starfish, and then sometimes they need to bend their knees and bring their arms down by their side. Everybody's just a little bit different in how they float. So that's going to be the basic thing that we want to make sure any of our swimmers know how to do. So when we're working with our kids, so I don't have a kiddo with me, but I'm going to pretend like this is my kiddo's head. So I'm going to have them lay on their back from behind. Now my kiddos who aren't used to having their ears in the water, I try to keep my shoulder under the water or near the water. So we slowly work our way down to just getting comfortable laying in the water. We're singing songs like ABCs and Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Sometimes they have a toy that they're floating with. Once they're a little bit more comfortable, I push them to where they're right underneath my chin, and I'll put my chin on their forehead, not shoving it down, but just a nice gentle little like push right here. So then that way they stay nice and flat. And as they get more comfortable, they move out just a little bit more. Notice how I always stay at the head. I'm not moving off to the side and holding them like this. I'm right here at their head, so that way they can move their arms and their legs around. Now, when we start talking about front floating, it's a lot of the same things. The biggest difference is now we're putting that face in the water. So we want to really make sure that we have our head now looking down at the ground, and we still have a nice spread out body. And anytime we have our face in the water, we always want to be blowing some type of bubbles. This is what it looks like to front float. All right, so when you come back up, you can take that breath. Now, when we go from swimming to being able to roll over and take a breath, sometimes that's the easier way of doing it than trying to stand up. So what we want to do then instead is we actually want to roll over from our stomach to our back, and that's going to look like this. Okay, so now I can breathe and I can rest. And if I need to, I can take a deep breath and roll back over, or I can swim on my back. So, all right. So when we talk about rolling over, we really want to make sure that we do those same holds as before, where our faces, the heads are right here, and we're going to help them to roll over and then roll back. Now, how do you do that rollover? So when we do that rollover, especially when we're moving from our front to our back, we actually kind of want to do a little bit of a pull, like we're swimming with our arms. We also want to turn our head to the side. So a lot of times what I teach my kids is I have them take their chin and put it all the way to their shoulder, okay? And then they have to kind of take that scoop and then roll their body over. So watch me do that one more time. And now I'm on my back, okay? Now, to be honest, that is one of the harder ones. So when you're working with your kids in the water, think about practicing that over and over again. Sometimes they get it a little bit easier if you actually have them swim a couple of laps, or I'm sorry, a couple of strokes, and then roll over. So it would look more like this. And that gives them a little bit of the momentum to actually keep going. Now when they roll on their back, so that way they can, when they roll back to their stomach, they can take a deep breath in and roll back over to their stomach. That part is pretty easy. It's just a matter of rolling that hand over and turning that head. So it'll look like this. All right, so that's the basics of floating on the back and floating on the front and rolling over, okay? Make sure to review over these, and if you have any questions, reach out to us at the JCC. Again, my name is Heather.